based in Lagos. He's a man with a passion for captivating storytelling and a unique visual style. He has been in the industry for over 15 years, honing his skills directing films and experimenting with various genres, from drama, animation, and documentary to brand promotion and feature movies. Ayobola remains an active member of the local film community, participating in workshops, collaborating with other artists, and mentoring aspiring filmmakers. With this, I would like to welcome Ife to please take the stage as we continue this session. Ife, over to you.
Thank you very much, sir. I don't know if we can all hear me loud and clear.
Very well, sir.
Please. Thank you, sir. So, my name is Ladipo Ifeoluwa. I am a sound engineer. I'm a producer, voiceover artist, voice trainer, and many others. I basically work on sound. So, I always make sure that whatever program, whatever production I have at hand, one thing that is very important to me that I hold so dearly is sound, because sound is very, very important. No matter how little the sound might be, even if it's just a drop of pin, because it goes a long way. What you hear, it stays in your mind. You might not know, but it stays in your mind for such a long time, and you can always go back and just remember that sound and know what you want to do. So even if there's no visuals, sound is very important, and that's why we have more radio stations than TV stations. That's why we have more music than music videos, because there's sound. It's very easy and it's very cheap to have a radio, because once you just plug, you just hear the sound and you're connected. So bringing it to today's topic, audio visual editing for content creation, podcast creation, YouTube videos creation. First things first, audio visual editing. So I'd like to take us, I won't take us back, but let me just make some basic, let me just establish some points, right? When we say editing doesn't just start from the editor, or doesn't just have to do with the editor sitting in front of the system, editing videos, editing sound. Editing starts from your thought process. Because as a content creator or as the owner of the product, you know what you want to do. So there are some key points that I have pointed out here, but Ayobola will share us some videos when it comes for his own session, just to show us how we can go about this editing. But let me just touch on some things quickly. So audio visual editing, first things first, I have concepts and planning. Concepts and planning. That is you as a content creator defining your purpose. What is the goal of this video? What are you trying to inform people about? What are you trying to entertain people about? What are you trying to educate people about? Because you as a content creator, if you don't know what you want to do, your editor can't do anything. Because obviously you are going to transit your thought process to your editor, to your director, to your cinematographer on how you want to achieve this particular content. So you have to know what you want to do from the point of conceptualizing and planning. For a content to be out there, usually in broadcast school, they told us, or they've always taught us, there are two types of broadcasting: monologue and dialogue. Monologue being just one person, that's the narrator. Then dialogue being two or more people in a video. So, and all of these concepts has what it requires. If it's going to be monologue, that means I most likely need handheld mic, or a body mic, or a studio mic, because of course we know there are contents made in the studio as well. All these podcasts that we see here and there, we use studio mics. So that's for monologue. But if it's a dialogue, obviously you need a mic for yourself, you need a mic for your guests, no matter how many they are, 1, 2, 3, they need to be mic'd. Wherever the location might be, if it's going to be outdoor or indoor. If it's outdoor, obviously, we all know lapel mics, road mics that will attach to the body. So if it's going to be just you, you know that, okay, probably it's a content you want to create in a market area. Obviously, you need to use a body mic because you cannot carry handheld mic and a studio mic in a market area, right? Because there's noise. And you shooting in a market area is because it's intentional. So that's why I said you need to know what you're doing, concept and planning. You're probably shooting in a market area because you want that sound, that ambience, that noise, that market feel. Maybe it's a documentary on how people price market or price things in markets. Obviously, you cannot necessarily do that in a studio because you need real-time experience of people. Obviously, you need to use a body mic, right? And if it's a studio environment, maybe like me now sitting here and I have a podcast that I am producing, I don't necessarily have to use a body mic here. If my studio is padded, that is where padding, that is where acoustic comes into play, because you cannot have a podcast in a studio environment and you are hearing echoes. Sound is very, very important. Because if you notice that there are times when you enter a vacuum space, an empty room, and you say a word, you hear echoes because it will bounce. Because that is sound. Sound will always bounce when there is space. So the reason why we pad studios, we pad environments is because we don't want to hear any of those bounce. And that is where padding and panels and foam comes into play, because foam will soak in the sound. Thereby, it will not bounce. That's why most studios, if you go to most standard studios, there's always foam or some sort of padding around. And you will think, what is this foam doing here? It's serving its purpose because it's supposed to soak in the sound. It is distracting. And once you are distracting people's attention span is very short. It is just one slight thing you will do. They will just swipe up. So because you want to hold everybody's attention, you need to take note of all of this. So that is why I said, okay, it's very good for you as a content creator to know what you're trying to achieve from the very beginning, from the point of conceptualizing and planning. What do I want to do? Because it's very important for you. Then moving on quickly, scripting. I cannot overemphasize the need to script because oftentimes people think script is for people that are just new into content creation or people that are like novice or beginners. Let me tell you, even the best of content creators right now, even the best of broadcasters right now, they still script. Scripting is to help you have a sense of direction. Scripting is to help you streamline your thoughts. Because that's why people always say, jot it down, jot something down. Scripting doesn't have to be you writing word for word from beginning to the end, everything you want to say. It might be bullet points. It might be just be jottings. Just write something down because it will guide you and streamline your thoughts and help you not to derail. Because if you have a production at hand and you don't have your script, that is when you see people doing and all sorts of mannerisms. For you to be a good content creator, you need to be able to hold your audience. And you cannot hold your audience if you are stuttering on camera. You are stuttering every now and then, you are cutting every now and then. It doesn't make for seamless production. So it's very important for you to script because scripting will help you to streamline your thoughts. And okay, from presentation, from introduction rather, I'm going to the body, from body, I'm going to conclusion, from conclusion, I'm going to evaluation, and no matter anyhow you designed your content. So please, it is very, very important for us as content creators, as video makers, to always script. Script will help you to itemize everything you want to say, and it helps the editing process. Because if a production is very seamless, the production will come out on time. You will post it on time, and you get your feedback on time. But if the production process is lagging, it will definitely affect the editing process. And you know, when you're editing, you're not just editing sound, you're editing videos. As you're editing videos, you are cutting your cutaways, you are trimming your cutaways, you are processing your voice. It takes a long time. So thinking of all these processes, you need to simplify it from the very point of conceptualizing and planning. So please, editing doesn't stop at, okay, the sound and video. It's in the scripting as well. It's in the scripting. So let us always know that scripting is very important because it helps you to itemize all of your points. Is that from Gombe? Can you hear me?
Go ahead.
Can we go on? Can you hear me? Okay. So that's about scripting. And secondly, here I have pre-production. So basically, I don't know if we all know this. There are 3 rules to production, 3 guidelines or 3 steps to production: pre-production, production, and post-production. Pre-production, like the name implies, pre-production, that's before production. That is where you gather all your equipment, the type of microphone you want to use, the type of camera you want to use. Bola will explain better when we come to for visual on types of cameras we will use. But for equipment, let me talk about microphones. So microphones differ, right? And like I said, the type of content you are creating determines the type of microphone you're using. And I'm sure there are times we see people using phones as microphones because there are different apps. There are different apps now you can download on your phone and you can use it as microphone. The reason is because when you shoot with your phone directly, the phone has a camera and there's microphone on the phone. But when you're shooting with your phone, the sound you are getting from that camera is the sound from everything that is around, from the wind to the bike man that is driving, to the seller that is selling on the street, and to the downfall that is driving every now and then. But because you don't want that to be in your recording, because you don't want that to distract people from the point you're trying to make, right? You have to have a separate microphone that will be tailored around just recording the voice. So all those apps, they have settings. In those settings, there's a popular app that people use, the Parrot app. I don't know if you know it. So the Parrot app, you can use it. When you check it, it will tell you, okay, to block ambience or to block surrounding sounds around the environment. This is for you if you are making a content that is not particularly a studio environment. So if it's an outdoor event, you need to know that, okay, I want to block out. Yes, some people are already downloading the app. Yes, that's the app. So in that app, you can see there are settings where you can block noise around you, whereby I just want to capture the voice of the guest, right? Gombe, please, I will need you to mute your mic so we don't distract people. Thank you. Thank you so much. So yes, like I said, so it's very important for us to know the kind of microphone we are using because sound is very important, right? Then secondly, choosing a location. This is us talking about pre-production. Choosing a location. Ensuring it fits the theme of your video and has good lighting and sound condition. Very, very easy. So I might want to talk about, maybe I want to talk about music or fashion. And obviously, I need to shoot that kind of, let's take fashion. Let's say fashion, right? Gombe, please mute your mic. Thank you.
Gombe, please, if you play with the mic again, we will remove you from this group, please.
So thank you, sir. So the second point here I'm trying to make, I said choose a location. A befitting location is good for the theme or for the message you're trying to pass. Sometimes, they say less is more sometimes. So like I said, I want to talk about fashion. Then I find myself in maybe one of these very big fashion shows. Being there alone, I've painted a picture to people already, even if I don't say anything, even if it's just to capture pictures here and there, right? Because Even pictures are a way of, I hope you know that you can have your content out there without even saying a word. You don't even need to say anything sometimes. That is because your location has done the job for you. Or maybe I want to talk about, there are so many food critics out there, people that are saying they criticize food here and there. Sometimes they don't even need to say anything. They'll just go to one restaurant. There alone, the location has done the job for them, has done the editing for them. Right? So it's very important for you to choose your location that fits the theme or the concepts you are trying to educate people about. Let's say we want to talk about education. We want to talk about school, right? And you have maybe a pupil or a student on your set. That alone, you've passed the message across without doing anything, with doing nothing exactly, right? So it's very, very important for you to choose a befitting location for your content because it will help you. Because as much as possible, you are trying to save cost, you are trying to save manpower, you are trying to save energy, right? So why not just do much with less? So having to choose the right location is good for you and good for your content. And lastly, here under pre-production, I have plan your shoot. Planning your shoot. So we know we have so many content and so many episodes. Maybe as a content creator, you want to have like there's season 1, season 2, season 3. And season 1, you're probably targeting maybe like 10 episodes. 10 episodes. Maybe season 1, you want to talk about education. Season 2, you want to talk about politics or something. So in that education, you have to find your resource persons. You have to find your, when I say resource persons, I mean I cannot, if I want to have like a resource person on education, Minister of Education is one, students is another one, teachers, lecturers. These are resource persons that can give you the kind of information you want about a particular field. Plan your shoot. I'm going to have maybe like 10 people, right? And you know, you cannot have 10 people on making one person on Monday, one person Tuesday, one person Wednesday, one person Thursday, because we're all doing different things. So you can as well plan with 5 people on a Monday. You just give them time. Okay, Mr. A, you come by 1 o'clock. Mr. B, you come by 2 o'clock. Mr. C, you come by 3 o'clock. By then, you've been able to shoot like 5 episodes in one day. Then it's left for you as the producer and the editor to chop it, edit it behind the scene. Then you take it, you post them according to how you've arranged it. So you plan your shoot. You know that okay, on a certain day I'm having five people. Those 5 people are the people I'm shooting for. Because then, regardless of the setting, you might have a cinematographer, you have a light person, you have a sound person. It is cost effective if you have all of these people together in one day. And you people do marathon shoots, right? You do marathon shoots. And if it's your phone you're using, I mean, Mr. Key was saying it the other day, you can start with your family, your friends. One person can carry the light. There are small lights now that we use now for LED lights. One person that can carry the lights. You don't necessarily have to pay your friend or be your family. I like to think everybody's friendly that way. Okay, you carry lights, so you carry microphone, you carry the phone, and you can shoot as many episodes as possible. By then, the stress of editing after shooting has been reduced because you have the resource persons already. So that will help to have a seamless editing process. Because as much as possible, we are trying to have seamless editing because most times the problem is always in the editing. I don't know if there are times when we hear that okay, someone will just say, I don't have this shot again, I don't have this angle again, I don't have this sound. You don't have it because you did not streamline all your resource persons according to how you want to shoot. So it's very possible for some things to get missing in transit. And trust me, if you have one shot missing, it's almost as if the whole project is lost. Imagine you have to book a space for a shoot and you did not press record. In the process, that project is as good as wasted because you have to reapply and you have to pay again. Nobody's going to hear, sorry, I'm sorry, nobody will hear that. So there's the need for you to save as much as you can by streamlining your production process and planning all your shoots. Then it takes us to production. From pre-production, it takes us to production. Production is the day of the shoot. You have to plan your set. You always hear when people say, I'm going to set, I'm going to set, I'm going to set. The set is the location, is the place, the setting. Set is a short form for setting. Is the place you're going to for the set, the location. You have to plan all of these things, arrange your equipment, and make sure everything is in place. Your camera, how many cameras am I using? Am I using 2 cameras? Am I using 1 camera? Am I expecting 2 people? Am I expecting 10 people? Is it just me? Arrange your set. How many mics am I using? Is it a lapel mic? Is it a handheld mic? Is it a studio mic? Where am I shooting? Arrange your set because it will help you. We might not know all of these things help us because you feel like it's something you do every time, every time, every time. You have been doing it every time because it has been helping the process. Imagine you don't have your light person on ground when you have to shoot in a dark area. There's nothing you can do. Provided the shoot is going to be done indoor. Someone said there's a light, there's one of my colleagues that said, no matter how bright the studio environment is, if there's no light, no matter how light the fluorescent is, it cannot be as bright as the sun. Because if you are shooting outside, obviously, if you are shooting in the broad daylight outside, you don't need light now because sun has done the lighting for you. You might just flag the light or flag the sun at different angles so that you can block out the shade in the person's eyes. Do you understand? But if it's indoor, you need all your equipment to be in place because there's nothing you would do. If the production day there was an error, there's little or nothing you can do during editing, right? There's little or nothing you can do. So it starts from the production. That production day itself, make sure your set, everything is arranged. Then from setup, filming. That is, follow your script and your storyboard, paying attention to lighting, framing, and audio quality. That is the filming itself. Follow your script and your storyboard, paying attention to lighting, framing, and audio quality. I cannot overemphasize the need to have a proper light because we as viewers, when we watch videos or when we watch movies, we might not see it. Not even we might not see it. We will not even see it. We will not even see it. But there's a lot going on behind that one camera. There's a lot of light. One very quick example is when we watch news, CNN and Al Jazeera. I like what their cameraman used to do. When they are done with their news, they will zoom out. When you zoom out, you see all of the lights and the teleprompters and the cameras. You see all of the lights, all of those lights. And when you watch the news in real time, you might not see the lights. You'll not even see it on your screen because a lot of light has been arranged to cancel other light, other reflections. If there's, like I am seated in front of you now, let's assume there's a light from my right shining on my face. It will bounce off on your screen and some part of my face will be dark while the other part will be light. That doesn't make for good video. So if I shine light from the right, I need to shine it again from the left so that I can cancel off any dark spots, so to say. I know this might be ambiguous because we're talking about light, but they are LED light, they are small lights too that we can use. There are even some that we can just hang on our phone. I'm sure we know that. There are some we can hang on our phone. And those on most times when we set those lights, and this is when we are doing maybe narrative or a monologue, that's one person. When you have like light on your phone, focus it on the center. That's when it's monologue because it is safer. Provided this place is showing on the camera, it's safer, right? That's for monologue. But when there is dialogue and there are many people, then you have to arrange your set. You have to arrange your set. So we cannot overemphasize the need to have proper lighting, proper framing. Framing is the shape, how it will appear on the screen. There are many times when when cinematographers are shooting, you will notice there's always space above your head and the screen. It's called headroom, because usually your subject is meant to be at the center. At the center, because imagine you are shooting. I don't know how my head is appearing. See my head. You see the way it's shooting. It's appearing. This can discourage just one viewer, because you'll be like, I'm not seeing the face of the subject properly. Can you all see me? So there's need for you as a content creator, because you are a producer, even if you are the presenter or the main character in the content. You are the producer as well. So there's the need for you to always know that, okay, that's why most times before we start shoot, we'll do a, is it preview now? Preview, to see how it appears in the camera, because the subject needs to be in the middle, because all these little details, it goes a long way to attracting or pushing away your viewers. So we need to pay attention to all of this. Then lastly, under here, I said audio quality, because I will still talk more on this audio quality. Let me just run through this. And lastly, post production. This is editing. After I've done my pre-production, I've done my production, post-production, that's everything that happens after the shoot day. For products, editing software, you need to use a good editing software. One of the most used or popularly used or the most effective editing software is Adobe Premiere Pro, because it's user-friendly and it has a lot of tools. If you don't know that now, please let us start using that. Adobe Premiere Pro is the most effective and the most friendly and the most user-friendly software, because there are so many things you can use. There are so many things you can do on Adobe Premiere Pro, right? It can help you to edit your pictures as well. It can help you to, if there's any shade of light you are trying to cast on a certain subject, it will help you to do that. It's good for coloring as well, even special effects. Okay, even here I had it helps for good sound effects, because most times when we watch all of this content on YouTube, there are times when we hear a certain sound coming from somewhere and you're like, is it not a natural? Maybe let's assume somebody was slapped. If you slap yourself, you will not hear that sound now, but there was a sound you heard at the background. That is editing. All of these sound effects, all of these special effects, it helps to add color to your content. Like Miss, I will always go back to Miss Teki. She said something. She said, "What are you doing differently?" There are so many content out there. There are so many YouTubers out there. There are so many content creators out there. Why should I watch your own? Why? They should have something on your own content that stands out. All of these special effects, colors, cutaways here and there, you need to effect it in your production, because it makes you stand out, right? And don't expect to have the kind of numbers you're expecting from one video. You keep posting. You have to keep posting. You have to keep posting. You have to keep posting, because there should be a trend in your videos. There should be something people can take away from your video. Aside the message you are passing, there should be something. Maybe there's a way you position yourself, or there's a way your picture always come out. There should be something attractive about your video. So we should always do that. So having said that, to the main reason why we are here, getting started with audio visual editing, right? Audio visual, we are like siblings. Audio and visual. It's almost as if one cannot do without the other when it comes to content creation, especially for videos. For audio, sometimes maybe if you want to post on, let's say on Spotify or YouTube Music or Apple Music or any of these streaming platforms for audio, I mean, obviously you don't necessarily need any video, but if you want to post on YouTube, which is the main focus of this campaign, you need your audio and your visuals to be top notch. First things first, choose your software. Choose your software, which is your video editing software. You need to be conversant with the software you are using. There are so many softwares out there. There's Adobe Premiere Pro, there's Final Cut, there's DaVinci Resolve. There are so many. So you need to know the one you're working with, then master it. Okay, I mean, there are a lot, but you cannot just be jumping from different software here and there. I use Premiere Pro and I use it very well because I have been able to master it over time. So you need to identify the one that works for you, the one that gives you the result you're looking for, then stick to it and amplify on it. Because there are so many videos you see out there. It could have been better if the editing was just done better. So many messages have been misled, have been wrongly passed because the editing wasn't done properly. So you need to know the kind of editing software you're using. You need to know the kind of audio editing software you're using as well. So for Adobe Premiere Pro, which is for video, there's Adobe Audition for audio. Adobe Audition for audio. That's what most of these radio stations use right now because it is very, very user friendly. Very, very user friendly. There's something about practice. When you keep doing it, you perfect it. So for editing, you need to know the kind of software you're using and you need to master it. Right? There are so many courses you can see online. There are so many videos. Just go to YouTube, just type how to properly use Adobe Audition, how to edit my video on Premiere Pro. You will see a million and one videos. That's how I started learning. Actually, for me, that's how I started learning. So just at the very basic level, start with that. If there's any one of us that does not have any knowledge of Adobe Audition or Premiere Pro or any of these softwares, go to YouTube. If you have a system with you, download them, then start watching videos, start equipping yourself, right? And there are times where you might need to get maybe different opinions from a fellow content creator or a fellow editor. I'm sure they should be willing to help. If there's any question you have, I will drop my details as well. You can also send messages, email me. I'm willing to help as well. Because if you're able to do all of these things, you save yourself having to pay extra fees to editors. Because imagine you as a content creator, you know what you want to do in your head, then you have the tools to use. That is perfect. Because it saves you the stress of having to book appointments from one editor to the other. Because you have your resources already. You have your laptop, you have the software, then you cut it according to how you want it to appear. But then again, all of these things I'm saying, it is not far-fetched and it is not hard. If there's any question Hello, everybody. Can you hear me, please? Sorry, we had Ibado. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you from Enugu.
Okay.
Okay, I can hear you. Go on.
Hello. Can you all hear me? If you can hear me, raise your hand. Good. So sorry. We were cut off right here from Lagos. I think Lekki, because we belong to the same Lagos axis, I think they are also affected. Then they are back now. Lekki, are you there?
Sorry for the break. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Please go ahead.
Okay. So, like I was stressing earlier, I was on the second point here, which is set up your workspace. Set up your workspace. That is your hardware, which is a decent computer with enough RAM and a good graphic card. Okay. For a content creator and you want to perfect your editing skills or you want to have a decent editing process, you need to use a decent laptop or a computer system. And there's the need for you to back up everything. So for us that work behind the scene, we back up, back up, and back up. I can see hands in PH and okay, well, I don't know if you want to say something, but let's just finish with this first session.
I think it's
We take
better you
questions.
finish your presentation, then we'll take the
Yes,
question.
after that, yes. So there's the need for you to have a good working system, a good working laptop, at the very least. Because like I was saying, for us that work behind the scene, editors, cinematographers, sound engineers, they tell us to back up the backup and back up the backup, the backup. Because your files can get missing at any point. And there's anything there can be domestic accidents anytime, anywhere. Imagine okay, all your equipment gotten stolen anywhere, anytime. So what do you do when you find yourself? And what if it's a paid for resources or a paid for content? Let's assume you've grown big now and you are partnering with brands, and all of a sudden during the process of shooting, you encountered some thugs and they collected your laptop or they collected your microphone or you collected your hard drive. What do you do? And the brands that you partnered with, they've paid you. What do you do? So there's the need for you to back up your backup. If you have a laptop, you need to have a hard drive. That your hard drive needs to have another hard drive. I mean, it's the cost we carry when we call ourselves content creators. I mean, everything has to be backed up because anything can happen. You can just plug your hard drive one day, you know, go come on. Yes, now you can just switch on your laptop one day, the screen has gone, and you have timeline because most content creators we are all working with timeline because you know before the end of this month maybe I want to put out like 10 content already. And if you don't put out one, let's not assume your content is like in a sequence. If you don't put out one, you cannot put out the next one because you'll be referring to the previous one in the next one. So you need to back up everything. You need to have a good working laptop because you cannot keep managing. You cannot keep managing because there's a day you will need to turn out your content and your laptop doesn't come on. What do you do? So there's a need to have a good working laptop, a good working phone, a good working system, and back them up so that you can be rest assured that, okay, if anything happens in the process of my production, I have something to fall back on, right? Then install the necessary softwares on your laptop or your system or your phone. You can do a lot with your phone. You can have CapCut. CapCut is one of the most used editing tool on your phone now. Someone is smiling here because she uses it a lot. Because CapCut can help you to do so many things. You can even install it on your laptop. If you have CapCut on your phone, you know that all you need to do is just to shoot. Once you shoot, you can import everything in your CapCut. CapCut will chop everything for you. If you need to know how to use CapCut, it is very, very user-friendly. Very user-friendly. You can look up videos on YouTube. YouTube should be your best friend. YouTube should be your best friend because everything is there. If there's any question you have on your head, in your head and you don't know how to ask the question or you don't know how to address the question, type it on YouTube. YouTube will refer you to a similar video that answers your question. And by then, the algorithm is so perfect, it will keep showing you more suggestions on how to go about that question you asked on a certain day. So install the necessary softwares on your phone, on your laptop, and keep using them. And let it be your life. Like Oluchi said, like Misteki said. Don't let it be a one-off. It's like driving. If you start driving today and you stop driving for another 3 months, you will forget. You will forget, and you have to take the course or you start training again. So if you are putting out content, you need to continue. You need to continue. And if you are editing, you need to continue because consistency is very, very important because it will help you. Your hand goes strong, as we locally say here. Your hand goes strong, which, I mean, like we said, if you're a producer and you're an editor, perfect. Because if you meet brands now and they tell you, okay, and you pitch something to them, and they say, we like your idea. Okay, what does it, how much do we pay you and your workforce? They don't know, say, your workforce is you and you. Because you are the producer, you are the presenter, you are the editor. But of course, you collect money for producer, you collect for editor, you collect for lighting, you collect for cameraman. Your camera is your phone, or you have one small camera. Imagine you now know all of these things. It's good, it's a win-win for you because you get paid ×2 or ×3, and you earn, and you don't even need to pay anybody, right? But you cannot know all of these things if you don't start learning them. You need to start learning them, right? So install the necessary softwares on your phone and your laptop because it will help you as time goes on. So thirdly, here, learn the basics. It's almost as if it's the same thing because that is what it entails. Learn the basics. The basics mean, okay, how do I position my camera when I want to shoot for one person? I've said something about headroom. If you have, if it's a monologue or a narrative and it's just one person, ensure that your subject is in the middle. I think I'm in the middle on my frame now, on my screen now, right? Ensure you are in the middle and there is headroom. I am the subject. I am the subject. Ensure the person is in the middle and there's headroom, which means there is space at the left and at the right. Because you cannot be having a monologue and the person is positioned like this. It's almost as if I'm having an interview or a conversation. This frame is not wrong, please, because if it's a case of a dialogue or many people, right? Of course, there are like 5 people around the camera. If someone is positioned here, that means the person is most likely having a conversation with someone opposite you. So the framing alone, you are making a statement. Do you understand? Do you understand? So because, like I say, people tune in every now and then. People tune into news when it's like 15 minutes gone, when it's 20 minutes gone, 30 minutes gone. Once one person checks one station and sees this view, in my head, I'm like, okay, maybe they're having an interview, right? Maybe they're having an interview. So there's a need for you to always know that, okay, framing is very important, positioning is very important because you are passing a message across already. There's something about looking room as well and eye contact, right? You might be, okay, I'm using monologue because it's just me and I'm using myself as an example on this frame. So if I'm having a monologue and it's a narrative podcast or a narrative content I'm creating, maybe it's like a poetry, right? There's the need for you to have eye contact because obviously you are not seeing anybody, but we are seeing you. And if you want to make it personal, you want to appeal, let's not assume the content you're creating is something that is you are passionate about and you are trying to appeal to a set of people. Maybe you are trying to, maybe there's a campaign you are championing. Maybe they should stop violence or they should stop any kind of violence or anything, and you're trying to appeal to some people, there's the need for you to look them eye to eye, because it's like you are passionate about it. You are sending a message across. So you cannot be telling me something you're passionate about and you are distracted about maybe one wire that is hanging behind your neck, or there is someone distracting you, or there's one sound behind you, or maybe you are a nursing mother and you are doing your content already, and maybe there's someone disturbing you outside. Madam, where are you? Something. You need to know what you are doing. You need to be intentional. That is where looking room and eye contact comes into play. You need to look directly to the camera and pass your message across, because it goes a long way. We might not see these things because as time goes on, those are the little details that makes your work stand out. So we need to pay attention to these things, because if all of these things are done, then the editing, you are doing little or nothing. It's just on that, okay, how long is the podcast? 15 minutes, 15 minutes. Okay, let me take away the cutaways, the unnecessary sound, or the unnecessary shots in my frame. Then I'm good to go. Then moving forward, your editing process, right? Your editing process. That is you creating a project, organizing your clips, your cuts, and your arrangement, and your transitions. I will explain one after the other. Your editing process. After this one last one, then I will give room for Bola to come and explain about videos. So editing process, when we say create a project, that is start a new project in your software. Set up a timeline, workspace, and import your file from the media. Let me just explain in simple terms. Now, you have your shots, you have your pictures that you want to arrange in your editing software. Every project needs to start afresh. Every project needs to start episode 2 on episode 1 project. It doesn't make for proper accountability, so to say. I'm always saying, assuming you are working in partnership with a brand, and now in the course of your editing process, one clip gets missing in another episode, what do you do? It's just like opening a new page. You know, back then in secondary school, when we do first term, we say second term begins here, right? So there's the need for you. I mean, just treat your editing process like that. Every episode, new page, new project, because anything can happen. Because we're humans, we get tired. We get tired. So you don't know, in the process of you editing one thing, one sound has escaped and entered another project, and it will compromise all of your projects. So in every project you're doing on your software, open new project for every new episode. It just makes for seamless production process. Because all of those things, if you keep managing, there's a day is your system will say, I cannot manage again, because it's machine. It will break down too. So there's the need for you to always arrange all of your project, all of your episodes according to the sequence. Episode 1, new project. Episode 2, new project. As simple as that. Organize your clips. Very simple. Once you've gotten all your clips for episode 1, deal with it in episode 1. Don't carry it to episode 2. Deal with it in episode 1 and move on. That is you labeling and organizing your media to streamline the editing process. Simple. Labeling and organizing your media to streamline your editing process. I've said so many things about process, because editing is a process. It's like it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. Because you are doing it, you keep doing it, right? So there's the need for you to be careful about the process. Cut and arrange clips. That is you beginning your clips in a desired sequence. Cutting tools to remove unwanted sectors or sections. That is editing. From the word alone, editing, you know that you want to remove something, right? Cutaways, pictures that you don't need, so that you can have what you want. The way you pictured it in your head, you have it on your frame or in your picture. Then add transitions and effects, sound effects, right? We see so many videos nowadays where there's a certain sound that depicts a thought. There's a thought in the producer's head. How do we bring it to life? We can use sound effects even without you saying anything. There are so many contents out there. There are some contents I see, they don't even talk. It's just music. It's music they will use that will play from the beginning to the end. Maybe they have write-ups on the screen, but the music is carrying the message for you, right? It's an editing process, right? That is you finding the perfect sound that depicts the message or that carries the message you want to pass across. It's as simple as that, because you cannot be talking about having to appeal to parents on the need to allow their children to do extra curricular activities, and you are playing one very vulgar sound. That doesn't appeal to parents, because you are trying to win them over. You need to play a song that will carry the message. It's intentionality. You need to be intentional. You need to be intentional. There's nothing you see on your screen like, I feel like say they forget that, they did not forget. It's intentional. There are sometimes you see some videos and you see one glass of a certain brand. They did not forget it. They put it there because they want you to see it. It's intentional. It's intentional. So in your editing process as well, you have to be intentional. Put sound effects where necessary. Put effects where necessary. Know what to do at a certain time, because you don't want to distract people. As a content creator, you can distract people as well from the message you're passing. Yes, now they might just be hearing one sound. Say, what is that sound underneath? A lot of things have gone, a lot of content have died like that because they didn't pay attention to details. So pay attention to details. And by then you will have a seamless production. And finally, review and revise your content. Watch your video. Review the final product to check for any error or areas of improvement. There are people they call quality control. I don't know if you are conversant of that. Quality control. Their work is to watch it from beginning to the end. That's their own work. After the editor has chopped and changed and trimmed here and there, you framed, your sound is perfect, you've gotten your 15-minute content that you want to put out there, then you give it to your quality control. Remember, in this case, we are the one that are doing everything. We are the producer, we are the presenter, we are the editor, we are the quality control personnel. Quality control is to control the quality, ensure that the quality is top-notch. You have to watch it from the beginning to the end. Most quality control personnel, they will have their tab in front of them, or their biro and their paper. As they are watching, they are writing, they are jotting, because you've seen one or two errors or one or two improvement that should be done, which is very good. Let's not say, okay, I don't cut and finish. Let me just put it out there because time is going. Time is going because you probably did not plan your time well. So you need to plan your time well, because at the end of all the editing, you still need to sit and watch it from 0 second to the 15th minute. Because if you don't do that, some cutaways might just go in the process and you pass the wrong message. And that is when one person will go and pick your message. And all the ones that have been doing that has been fantastic. They will not see that one. Is that one that you made one error that they'll say, take down the video. And that doesn't help you as a content creator. So we need to ensure that once we are editing, once you're done editing, watch it again. Watch it again. Make adjustments where necessary. Go back and make revision before the final export. It's as simple as that, because you can never be too careful. You can never be too careful. And be open to second opinions from people, from friends, from colleagues, from family members. After you've watched it, some people don't always like to take criticism. Criticism is not necessarily to talk down on you. It's to help you, right? Take criticism, even if they want to insult you. You are the one that know what you are looking for now. You know what you are looking for. You know what you are aiming for. Take criticism. It will only make you better. So after you've watched it, send it to friends and family, people that you know that will genuinely give you the corrections you need to hear. Be open to second opinions, because it will help you and to help your content in the long run. So with this point of mind, I hope I've been able to educate us enough on the reasons to having good sound and visuals for your content, because it will help you in your different content and your production processes. And I will take a break now for Bola to come and educate us on the need to just have good visuals for our content. It's going to be very short because our time is well spent, but we will take questions after the second speaker. Thank you very much.
A round of applause for Mr. Ife. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, everybody. Please just give me 1 minute. I'll be back up in a bit.
So while we wait for our facilitator to be back, I would like to suggest that we begin to chat our questions for the first session. So if you have questions, you can put it in the chat box so that we'll be able to take all the questions that we have today. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Owoeye Ayobola, and I hope you guys have been having a nice time so far, and I hope you've learned a lot. So this afternoon, like, I won't want to start repeating everything my friend Ife has said. So we decided to make these aspects a little bit more practical and engaging. So this second aspect is going to be about, we decided to center it around podcast creation and storytelling. So in this session, okay, let me share my screen so you can see. Let me share my screen. All right. So can you all, I don't know if you can see my screen, guys. Yeah. Entire screen window. Okay. Let me, that's for incoming. Share. Yeah. Okay. Please check on your phone if it's okay. Yeah. I want to be sure if they can see the shared screen. Okay. So I hope you guys can see the shared screen. And on the screen, if you see the topic is the art of podcast storytelling. Right. So in this segment, in this session, okay, I'll tell you guys about these are the things you guys should be able to do by the end of this session. First thing is you understand the concept of podcasting. Then you'll be able to use some AI powered tools to aid in creating your content. And finally, you'll be able to publish and produce produce and publish your own podcast by yourself. So, excuse me, Ife, please help me check from your phone if they can see the screen. Okay, so going on, the first thing is, why create a podcast? Like, what reason do you need? What reason do you have to create a podcast? Right? Now, there are various ways whereby creating a podcast can help you in your own personal life and in your career and in the things you do. One, creating a podcast can help you to develop public speaking and your communication skills. It can make you be a good orator because by the time you stand in front of your camera, like Ife said, and you're narrating, you're talking, you improve. The more you do it, you get better at talking and sharing your opinions with people. Now, number two, it's why you need to create a podcast or why create a podcast. You can use it to explore creative storytelling and content creation. Explore creative storytelling and content creation in what way? Like most of all of us have ideas. There are ideas that we like to bring to life. There are things that cross our minds from time to time. And creating a podcast is a way to put all these things out there. Creating a podcast is a way for you to share your ideas, to share your mind with others. It's a way for you, there are times whereby you have an idea, but there's no one around you to share it with. And this thing will keep going on in your mind. At some point, you start losing concentration. At some point, it will keep eating deep into your soul that you won't even be able to focus on something else. You'll just be like, oh, where's this, my friend? If my friend is there, we start gossiping or talking about these things and stuff like that. Now, creating a podcast is another way to ease out all that energy. It's another way to pass out all that energy. Now, you start creating your stories, you start creating your content, and before you know it, you start having your own followers. Do you understand? And the main aim of this training that we have is how you can start creating your own YouTube content and how you can get better at creating your own YouTube content, how you can get your followership. Mistake has spoken about that. Oluchi has also spoken about the other aspect of it. So I'm not trying to center this session about, okay, let's see the content you want to create, the content you want to start putting out on YouTube as a podcast session. So all these ideas that you have inside you, all these ideas that are stored inside you, a podcast is a way to bring them out, share with people, and you get opinions of others on all these things. Now, creating a podcast can also, the third point here is learn how to record and edit audio and video, which Ife has spoken about. Now, creating a podcast is also a way of gaining skills. It's a means of skill acquisition. By the time you learn about cameras, you learn about, if he has told you about camera angles, he has told you about framing and stuff like that. He has spoken about audios. These are skills that you can eventually put in your CV. And if you decide at the end of the day that you want to go out there and source for a job and to look for a job, you have all these skills there. Okay, I'm a videographer, I'm an editor, I'm a sound engineer. Creating your own personal podcast can help you to acquire all these skills, which is essential to take you from where you are to a better place. Now, the fourth point is you share your ideas and experiences with a wider audience. Like I said earlier, all these ideas that will come to your head that you don't have where to share. And by the time you share your ideas with a wider audience, the good thing about it is you meet people that have similar ideas to yours, because there was something that I discovered and someone told me a long time ago. The person was like, if you have an idea now and you don't make use of that idea, just give it like a month or 2 months. You see that someone else will come with an idea similar to yours, which will make you understand that ideas like it's like breeze, it blows. We don't know where breeze starts from, we don't know where it ends, but it keeps blowing. It goes all around. So if you don't make use of the idea when it comes, another person, we've seen that with music. We've seen it a lot of times with music that you be like, this artist sounds like this other artist. It's not as if they copied each other, it's not as if they met each other before, but it's the same idea. And if you don't make use of it, the very first person to make use of that idea is the first person that people will call the originator of that style or something. So creating a podcast can also help you to share ideas and experiences with a wider audience, and it will help you to meet more people. It will help you to meet new people in line. And you know that the main thing about this life is all about connection, the people you have in your circle, the people you relate with, the people you talk to. That is the major key about life, success in life. So like I said, creating a podcast can help you develop public speaking and communication skills. It's you can use it to share your creative storytelling and content creation. It can give you skills, video editing skills, camera handling skills, and audio engineering skills also. And you share your ideas, you meet new people, you have a follower base, you have people that can, it gives you connection also. So now moving on to the next slide. So I'm just trying to go over all these things, which is just like me just refreshing our minds about everything if I spoke on earlier. So I'm just trying to refresh our mind with all these. Now, there are 4 types of podcasts you could create by yourself. Now, like if I said, when was discussing about narration the other time, it spoke about solo hosts, right? As the name suggests, solo host is the type of podcast that relies on you doing everything by yourself. From coming up with the ideas for episode to delivering the content, the responsibility to engage and entertain the audience rests entirely on you. That is why it's a solo host type of podcast. So with your camera phone on your tripod, with stability and your light, you can start creating a narrative. You can start creating a solo host kind of podcast. If you go to TikTok, you see lots of videos like that whereby they'll be like, this is what have you guys heard about the history of what happened during so time? The person will just go online, get some content, some pictures, and add everything, and you'll be the host, and you'll be the only one telling you about this. So that is what a solo host podcast is, and you can also use it to share your own ideas about your storytelling and everything. So now we have the co-host. Now, as the name implies, also co-host means too, like maybe it's not only you, right? Now, typically these types of co-host podcasts, they are based on conversation between hosts. Now, you've decided to start a podcast. Now, this is different from interview based in the sense that now the co-host is you and your friend. You are both hosts. You bounce ideas around, right? You guys can pick a topic and you bounce ideas around. It's not as if I'm interviewing you, that you're my friend. We bounce, okay, what are we going to talk about today? Today, let's talk about food. You understand? Then we share ideas about maybe international food, local foods. We share ideas, we bounce ideas around. You tell me your experiences, I'll tell you mine. That is what a co-host podcast is. So the third one is interview based. Interview based is where you are the host, right? And you have a guest on your show. For the interview based, you have some questions, you have a series of questions. You see that a lot on TV. You see that if you watch your TV channels, maybe all these news channels, you see them, they'll bring in some guests and they'll interview the guests, they'll talk about this, talk about that. That is an interview based. You can, okay, it's like you have a musician as a friend, you bring the musician, you start talking to the musician, tell us your thought process, how did you come about this song? So the person will give you an answer. You can see that that is different from the co-host type of podcast. Co-host is where you guys bounce our ideas together, where you talk about your experiences. But interview is you brought this person because you want this person to make use of your platform to share about their crafts, to talk about who they are, what they do, and stuff. Now, the final one is the narrative based. Now, narrative based podcasts are very much story driven. Unlike the other types that I mentioned above, narrative episodes do not follow a linear structure. Narrative is just you talking about a certain thing. Do you understand? Now, maybe there's, like I said earlier, like an experience that happened. You will not sit down, you not talk about everything, you not narrate the story. Or like all these people that you see that they do storytelling, or people that write poems and stuff, that they'll pick up the poem and they start narrating it here in the year 2014, something like this happened and stuff like that. So that is the narrative based type of. So there are 4 types of podcasts. There are more though, but this 4, I feel, for us that we're just starting up, trying to start creating our own content. And these 4 are types of podcasts that you can create. The solo host, whereby anything that comes to your mind is what you're going to do. You have the co-host, whereby you and your friend. It might even be more than 2 people. It can be 3, it can be 4, but you guys just bounce ideas around. You just talk. And you have the interview base when you bring in guests to talk about certain things and stuff. And you have the narrative base whereby you pick a particular topic or something and you share and talk to people about it. So moving on. Now, how to produce a podcast, a complete walkthrough. I won't be touching much on this one because Ife already spoke about all this. The preparation and planning, which is the topic ideation, where you come up with a topic, like where you sit down and start thinking about, okay, what topic can I come up with? So, like if you can remember the title of this session that we are having is the art of podcast storytelling, and discover the world of AI-driven visuals and audio storytelling. So now, by the time we get after this page, you'll see more of how you can make use of some AI tools on your phone. I'll show you some that will help you from the process of topic ideation to creating your stories. Then I'll show you the ones that can help you to transcribe. I'll show you the ones that can help you to edit. I'll show you the ones that can help you in terms of sound. So now for preparation and planning, we have topic ideation. You invite guests, outlining the episode, naming the episode. Like if he has mentioned all these things, so we won't dwell too much on these ones. Then the pre-production, your podcasting equipment, podcast room, and all those ones. Then the recording and editing, you record an episode and stuff like that. So, sorry. And moving on, types of podcasts, tools for podcast creation. Like you said, you need your microphone, your camera, your softwares, your audio editing softwares, your video editing softwares. Understand? If I have spoken about all these things earlier. So your microphone, it can be a lapel mic, it can be a podcast mic, it can even be a boom mic. So for cameras, you have DSLR cameras, you have camcorders, and you have your mobile phone. You can make use of that also as tools. And the audio and editing software, like you mentioned earlier, Audition, Audacity, and lots more. So let's move on to the next slide. Now, this is where we're going to now, AI and podcasts. Now, there are various ways in which AI tools can help you to speed up your production, can give you ideas, can make your production better and flow better and seamless. So AI you can make use of AI tools during your script writing stage. You can make use of it during your video editing. You can make use of it during your audio editing. You can even make use of it during publishing. You understand? So all these things now, back in those days, for us to do all these things, we need to share ideas with people. We need to start talking to your friends. Okay, I want to write a script, so I don't even know what I want to write about, but I have an idea of maybe one boy. Then you guys will start bouncing ideas around. You guys will start talking about it and this and this, and it's going to take time. But right now, if you engage some AI tools, right now, you can easily type in and tell that, okay, I want to write a story about a boy from a land where nobody respects him or something. And it will come up with different storylines. It will come up with a synopsis for you. It will come up with a pilot for you. And you can start from there. At least you've gained the idea. It's not as if you are going to copy whatever the AI tool says word for word. It's just for you to bounce ideas. It's just for you to have a direction on what you want to do. So I want for you to see how powerful AI is now. And these are tools you can have on your phone and on your system. I would like to play. Please, can you wave if you can see my screen? Because I'm about to play a video. Can someone please wave? Anyone? If I please help me check on this. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. So I'm about to play this video. They can't see it again. No, that one is. You can see the video. Okay. I guess it's your network. And please help me confirm if you can hear the sound of the video. So please, let's go through this video for you to see how powerful AI tool is in production nowadays. So just let's watch this video and you'll be introduced to some tools that can help you if you are going for the full movie production or if you are just going for some podcast and some minor contents that you create. So please, let's just watch this video. So,
Need to share the sound.
Sorry, there's no sound in the video, please.
Well, okay, I noticed that there's no sound. I noticed that you guys can't add the sound. So don't worry, I'll share the link to the video after this session. So let's just leave it at that. Let's move on to the ones we can practicalize, whereby you can hear my sound when we're doing that. So, okay. Now for script writing, I told you, I said I'm going to share some tools with you. I'm going to share some tools with you that can help you. Now, if you go on your phone right now, go to your App Store or Google Play Store. There's this Po AI. Download the Po AI. Po AI is an AI language model that can aid scripting by generating creative stories, idea. You can craft with it. You can craft compelling stories and stuff. So let me show you how Po AI works. Okay. So yeah. So just follow my voice with this. Yeah, play now. Okay. Yes, it is. POE is for mobile phones and systems also. POE, yeah. So if you can see, as you can see on the screen, this is what the interface of POE AI looks like on the system. So I already made this video so that easily you can have access to it when you get the resources. So POE AI has various AI tools in it, from ChatGPT to every other tool that you can think of. It has all of them in it. It has Claude and all these things. So the next thing you're going to say is, I did an example of asking the assisted AI that, okay, this is the example. Can you see this thing clearly? So I asked the AI that, I said, let's
You
write.
need to increase the font.
Okay. It's the network. The network is no. It's better like this. Okay. So like I said, I told the AI that, okay, let's write a movie script together. And it asked me that what kind of genre do I want, do I have in mind, right? Then moving on, I said, I think in Nigerian science fiction, and it came up with, okay, the setting, the story could take place in a futuristic place. It gave me some characters, the protagonist, who is a young, ambitious Nigerian scientist, and it gave me a plot. That will be the plot of the movie. You understand? So that is basically a way whereby you can make use of AI to help you in script writing. So you can just bounce around, share ideas with it, and at the end of the day, when you come up, when you get the idea of what you want, then you now go and fully develop it your own way. So moving on, I also used it, like I also asked it that, okay, let's share podcast idea topics. And so you can type it in it, share podcast idea topics, and it will give you different topics. It will give you different ideas for different topic for the particular demographic you asked for. And it's going to come up on your screen, and you start bouncing your ideas with it. You pick anyone that you want to make use of. Then I said podcast topic ideas about a dysfunctional society. Now see, it came up with different topics: the widening wealth gap, breakdown of communities and social ties, and stuff like that. So you can pick anyone that you want to make use of. And it's so with Po AI, you can bounce ideas, you can talk about various things if you don't have anyone to share ideas with. Now for video editing, CapCut. I know most of us are familiar with CapCut. Most of us use CapCut for our edits on our phone, but do you know that the CapCut has an AI tool? Even this Zoom that we are making use of, it's automatically transcribing what I'm saying. It's subtitling what I'm saying. That's an AI tool. That's artificial intelligence. Anything I'm saying right now, it's transcribing it in real time. Maybe it might be a little slow. CapCut can also help you, right, to transcribe your videos. CapCut can help you. Like once you're done with your video, it has this transcribe option that you just click on, and it will bring everything out. Like it will subtitle everything. That is what most people make use of now. You see the video 7 minutes long. Before we have to sit down and start typing one by one. We need to start typing whatever the person says. We need to bring it out one by one. But right now with CapCut, you can easily drag in a video. Now I made for this example, I made use of the video I played earlier. You can drag in the video to your timeline. Is it the network that's making it like this? Is it sharp? Okay, you drag the video into your timeline. Then you go to captions. Now that's the video I was showing you earlier that I made use of for the so I try to make it shorter. Let me just speed up. I try to make the video shorter, not to waste time. So from the beginning, now go to captions. Once you click on caption, it can identify the language, or you can select the language. You can help it to identify the language that it is. Is it Arabic? Is it Yoruba? Is it French? Or you can ask it to automatically dictate the language itself. So which was what I did there. Right? Automatically dictate the language. Then you generate. Once you click on generate, it's going to go through the whole video, transcribing everything, every word that was said in the video. So these are ways whereby you can use AI tools for your production to make it easier, to make it seamless, to make it faster. Instead of sitting down and typing everything one by one, you just put it down, and once it's done transcribing, you'll see it's going to bring out everything on screen. Let me just move forward. See, it has created another layer that has what is it called now? A subtitle. Do you understand? So and on the right side of the screen, you can see various options whereby you can change the colors you want, you can change the theme of how you want the subtitle to be. Understand? You can select different things and stuff. So all these tools now are in present days, they are being infused with all these AI tools that will make your work easier, that will make it seamless, and that will make it faster. So for video editing, transcribing on your CapCut, this is also on Premiere Pro. It's also on DaVinci Resolve. It depends on the what's it called, the video editing software that you want to make use of. All right. Now for audio editing, now this particular one is one serious problem that most people have. When you've created your video, you need instrumentals, but before going to the studio to pay for studio time, they'll fix a studio session and all those things. It takes time before the recording is done, the mix and mastering and stuff like that for you to have your original sound. But now we have some AI tools now that you can easily type in what you want, what kind of sound you want. That, okay, I want a moody sound, I want a soft sound. Now, Mubet is one of all those AI tools that does this, that makes it seamless. It's going to generate a sound for you. It's going to generate an original sound depending on the prompt you put into it, depending on what you ask it to do. It will generate the sound for you, and you can make use of it. It's copyright free. It's your own personal, what's it called? It's your personal property. So this won't allow them to flag your contents. This won't allow them to flag your contents. This is the video of how Mubet works. But you won't be able to, and all these tools that I'm showing you are tools that you can make use of on your phone, or you can make use of on your laptop. Now, as you can see, this is what it looks like on the system. You just type in generate music, generate soundtrack. You can select the mood you want. And okay, a moody soundtrack. And once you click on it, a moody soundtrack for maybe for a podcast or something, which was what I did here. Once you click on generate, it's going to work on it. It's going to work on it, and at the end of the day, it's going to give you a soundtrack that you can make use of. And once it's done doing that, you can just download. You can download your stuff. You play it back. You download it, and you make use of it for your production. You understand? Which is very, very simple. And they won't flag it. They won't. There's nothing. It's your own personal stuff like that. So because of our time, I'm trying to move fast and not go fully deep into all these things. Now, for your publishing, we have different kind of what's it called that we can make use of. We have AI content file. that can help you monitor your what's it called, that can help you monitor the growth of your content. You can use it for scheduling of your content. If you have like maybe 10 episodes, you can upload all of them and schedule, and automatically it will post on all your social media platforms for you. You understand? And it's to keep monitoring the rate and and your views and stuff like that. You can even alert you that, okay, I have noticed someone that does this kind of content as yours. You can promote your page on this. It can tell you about upcoming events that's similar to the kind of content you are creating. So that's for the publishing aspect. So I'll try to drop this resource so we can go through it and you guys can make use of it to create and to aid in your own content production. So that's all I just had to share and add to what Ife has spoken with us about earlier. All right, thank you very much. Stop sharing.
Thank you very much. If you have questions, please can you raise your virtual hand for the first speaker and the second speaker from any of our spaces? Please, can you sit together?
Jerry, yeah, come back here. Yeah, come back here. So, are you going to read the questions out, or did you just ask? Or because I think they've dropped a couple of questions already.
You can take them, the ones that are related to you. Then I will take the virtual hands.
Okay. Okay, someone said here, what is the interface of advertisement that's on the viewers in the middle of a content, of a content creation? Okay, if I understand this question, what is the interference rather of advertisement? Okay, I mean, obviously, it's a partnership, or sometimes it's automated. Some of these ads you see in between content are automated, and most times they are partnership between brands. That's when you see there's a sudden cut when a video is going on, then an ad comes up. That's because maybe the content creator is in agreement with a certain brand that, okay, when it's like 17 minutes down, your product will show and people can see, because it's intentional. It's intentional now. Most likely, maybe the brand has funded the content creator, or there's like a barter between them. Okay, if you advertise my brand in like the 6th minute, I'm going to give you merchandise, right? Or I'm going to send your content to like a few of our customers. So it's intentional. Most of it is monetized, if I understand your question. So I feel like that's how most of them work. Then, if that answered your question, it's business basically. Then, second question here says, hello, good afternoon, sir. My question is, please, how can we be able to generate followers on YouTube? And how can we make our videos reach out to a lot of people? Thank you. Keep doing it. Consistency. Keep doing it. We've had two sessions before, and the very first person, he said, don't think after 10 videos you get 10,000 followers. You probably get one follower after 10,000 videos. It's consistency. You have to keep doing it. Like I said, there will be one time all you need sometimes is just one video. It can be one video that your followers will just skyrocket. Because when you say that someone has gone viral, it's not just one video that made them go viral. And once you go viral, you've gone viral. But how do you ensure that? You have to keep posting, you have to keep shooting. They said content creation is your life. You have to keep doing it. Right? So don't keep doing it. Then there's a question here, okay. Good afternoon, good afternoon. I'm trying to see the earlier questions. Okay. So there's a question here. How can a beginner who do not have funds to get all the necessary equipment? Okay, what can they do? What are the softwares that can aid sound in our video, especially when we are shooting video in a noisy area or environment? There are two questions. Let me break it down. How can a beginner who do not have the equipment? You can start with your phone. You're a beginner. Everybody started somewhere. You can start with your phone. So at the very least, you don't have money for all this big equipment. What do you have? You have your phone. Your phone has camera. Your phone has microphone. So you can start with that. And once you start, hopefully you don't stop. If you don't stop, at some point, all of your effort will reach you reap the reward.
And like if I stated earlier, when he was talking about sound and audio, like if you're making use of your phone, he mentioned an application, Parrot app. Parrot app is an application that is on both iOS on and Apple Play Store and Apple Store and Google Play Store. Download Parrot app. Even if you're in a noisy environment, there's a settings whereby you can make use of to filter the sound. And make sure anything you're doing, make sure you project. Projection, speak out. Let your voice be louder than the background noise. So even eventually when you're going to treat your audio, you'll be able to pick out your voice, even if the background noise is still there. The fact that you projected will still be make the audio usable to an extent. So as a beginner who is out on fund, we've seen videos of people that their cameras are not clear. And they started, and it's because of the camera that wasn't clear that they went viral.
Exactly.
Yeah, for real. I know there's a guy that I see his music most times on Twitter. Back then, like 2 years ago, the guy everyone was mocking him, and from laughing at him that what kind of production you keep saying, oh my G's, and everything. He kept saying it. And before you know that, oh my G's became a household name. And before you know, later on, the guy made.
Lucky, your line is breaking. Let's hold it a while for Lekki. Seems they have a network issue.
Hello, everybody.
All right,
Sorry
they are back.
once again.
Yeah. Yeah, welcome back.
So like I was saying earlier, so like I was saying before, there was a break in transmission. Just keep doing it. Like there's one person out of the 7 billion people we have on earth that your message, your content is going to relate with. Forget it, there will be distractions, there will be noises, there will be discouragements. But so far you're passionate about this, so far you're passionate about it, so far you know that this is what I want to do, this is what I want to share. There are people that will align, there are people that your content will connect with. So don't get discouraged because you don't have a good iPhone, you don't have a camera, you are not in a good environment or something. Don't get discouraged. Just do it and keep doing it consistently.
So, if we have a lot of questions in the chat box, I think we need to run fast so that we'll be able to
Okay.
address all the questions. So, there's one question that says, when we have the plan and basic creative abilities, how do we tap into the brand partnerships for the intentional income and revenue generation?
Okay. First things first, for that question, no brand will partner with you if there's nothing they will gain in return, right? Every brand that you see partnering with big content creators right now is because they are probably tapping into the following they have, those content creators, or into the message those content creators are passing. So first things first, is there anything these brands will gain from you? Do you have followers? Build your followership. Do you have message you're passing? Continue passing that message. It is until they see that, okay, there's something to gain from this particular content creator. That is when they will come, right? You need to have something you put on the table before people can join you to dine. You
All
need to
right.
have something. So do you have numbers? Do you have message? Work on that, and trust me, they will come in numbers, in millions.
Okay. So I run to the next one. Says, please, how can you ensure your content from pirates?
Okay. There's something they call watermark branding, so to say, tagging. That's why most times when you hear this music, when you hear song, there are sometimes you hear some tags at the beginning. They are producer's tag. That's because you want to put an identity on your property. For videos, most times when you see these videos, you see one logo flashing, or it's just even there permanently at the right hand corner or the left hand corner or something. Or if it's just sound, those tags will always come in at every 2 minutes or every 4 minutes. Just make sure, and if it's pictures, we have more watermarks. It's always there at the corner so that nobody can take ownership of your property. So always mark it, always tag your video. If it's a video, put a tag, put your logo at the corner. If it's going to play for a starter like us that we are starting, if it's going to be 5 minutes, let that logo be there for 5 minutes. Let it be
Okay,
there for 5 minutes.
so
There's nothing they can
if
do when they see your logo.
you know, we have some AIs that remove watermark. What do you do about that?
Okay, basically, before you upload your content on any platform, read the terms and conditions.
Simple.
This is something most of us don't do. You just see the terms and conditions and you agree. And most of us upload our stuff on YouTube. And there's a way you can put copyright on your work on YouTube. So even they won't be able to download or they won't be able to use it in another production without YouTube flagging it, without most of all these social media applications flag it. And one thing that they cannot remove from your content is your name. As you are talking about your content and something, just try to be infusing your name in the discussion. So by the time they say they want to cut out the part that has your name, the content will not make sense again. So for starters, this is something you can infuse into your content creation. Let your name come in or something, or maybe you're discussing with somebody, let the person mention the name of the brand and keep infusing it into it. Till you are known and people understand that this is your style. Now, it will be hard for anybody to make use of, let's say, Mr. Macaroni's, are you there? Now, I'm creating a content right now, and I'll say, are you there? Everybody will know that I stole it from Mr. Macaroni. So for starters, as you're still coming up, infuse your name into your production. Get a tag, like get a theme that people will know that, okay, this is it. And they will be able to cut it off. Go on YouTube when you upload your project, copyright it. So that's a way you can protect your stuff from piracy.
And for the AI tool that takes
All
a
right,
watermark,
okay.
know the AI tool you're using. Sorry, there are different AI tools. There are a lot of them. So know the AI tool you're using that doesn't take out your watermark, and I'm sure it will give you expected results.
Okay, thank you. So we have question from Uyo. This person is asking, he wants to embark on creation of cartoon. So he said, after writing my script, what next? Can you refer me to maybe a platform where I can learn how to cartoon?
Okay. The world is a global village now, right? And you can get content from anywhere in the world right now. And one very lovely platform that helped most of us, I can tell you that 90% of new age creators is YouTube. YouTube is very, very powerful. Go on YouTube, watch tutorials. Okay, you've written your script and you don't know what next. Now, for animation, for cartooning, you can we have Maya, we have Blender, you have even After Effects. On After Effects, you can create your cartoon on all these platforms.
Yes.
You have 3D Max and all these things, and they have some AI tools that can also assist you in creating all these things. So please go on YouTube. In Nigeria we have there's this guy Kojo Funds, he animates. There's Jude Osi, he does cartoon. We have Israel the animator, we have lots of them, and they post their stuff on YouTube. These are animators that you can start following. You And when you see, one thing about all these people is once you see their cartoon, you know that they are the ones. We have House of Ajebo, yeah, you know that once you see Tego or you see this one, you know that that is the person. Go on YouTube, follow these people content, drop messages in their comment section that you're an aspiring 3D animator, you're an aspiring cartoon creator. What are the steps? And some of them have courses that are not expensive. That, okay, I know Judah has a course of maybe like is it 20,000 or something, or that are not expensive. Buy their courses. Go on YouTube, type the kind of cartoon you want to create, 2D animation, type it there. You see various videos that will serve as tutorials and guidelines for you.
All right, thank you very much, Ayobola. So we have question from Oshogbo. Can you briefly tell us how to add an end screen to our YouTube video?
How to add end credits.
The person
End
said
screen.
an end
Which one is
screen to our YouTube videos.
Okay, I'm trying to understand what end screen mean. Is it like your own logo, or is it like the end credits? Yeah, the end credits whereby you write out the names, scroll and stuff, right?
I think so, yeah, something like that. It should
Yeah,
everything
yeah.
should be in your one video, right?
Yes. When you're talking about end credits or even adding your logo, you do that on your on your software. On the software you make use of to edit. It's there.
Everything is done on the software.
Everything is done on the software. And there are templates that you can make use of. We don't really have time because I've done some practicals on it, but maybe another time. There are some templates you can make use of that all you just have to do is just type out and replace with your own name, your own stuff. But even in CapCut, you will see credits. There's credits, what's it called? The tab there, whereby if you click on it, you'll see it and it will scroll up at the end of your video. So check the software you're making use of very well. You see the end credits there. And at the end of your video, you have your logo already, place it at the end, then export your work.
Next. Thank you very much. So we have question from Meduguri. What are some best practices for organizing the editing workflow to save time and ensure quality results?
Sorry, ma, take that question again. It was breaking at some point.
What are some best practices for organizing the editing workflow to save time and ensure quality results? Fantastic.
Okay, like I said at the very beginning, you as the content creator or as the producer, you know what you are trying to achieve. You know all of the resources you need to put out a certain episode. Let's assume it's a dialogue between you and one other person. Let's assume on the day of shoot, you guys are already shot for like 15 minutes. Start already. To save time, you need to start on time. Start already. And starting already doesn't mean you need to start rushing. Take your time, because if you know you want to save time, that's because you're working with the timeline. Then you need to start early enough so that you can have room at the end. Because if you shoot today and you probably plan for another guest on a certain day, time is going already. So there's nothing as start as early as possible. Churn out your product as early as possible and move on to the next one. Because now we are focusing on ourselves being starters. For starters, we don't have luxury of time. We don't have manpower. We don't have that big team that delegates different people to do different things. But for you, you know it's just you. Start on time, continue as you've shot, edit, preview, post. That will save you time.
All right, thank you. So while we're at the next question, please, someone is asking if you can place your handles on the chat box so they can pick it up from there. Okay, it's
Okay,
already
we dropped
there.
our email
I
address
saw it.
already. Yes.
Okay, I saw it.
All right.
All right, that was for Window or Mina. Please pick it up from the chat box. So we go back to you before we take the live questions from Spaces. Yo says, I want to know the AI tools I can use to create 3D animation using prompting or similar streamlined process. Then the second one, what are the software for uploading video content?
Okay. Sorry. Like I mentioned some softwares earlier. I spoke
Maybe can
about
Ife drop
Maya
them on the
3D.
chat box?
Yeah, someone already
Maybe
did.
Ife can
It's in
help
the
us
chat box.
drop it on the chat box. Okay.
Okay.
Someone already mentioned some already. Yeah, no problem. We'll drop more on the chat box.
Okay, so another person is asking, what are the software for uploading video or content?
Softwares for uploading. So you edit, after you've edited your work on Premiere Pro or Adobe Audition, we all upload to YouTube. We all upload to Spotify if it's audio. We all upload to TikTok, depending on the content you're putting out. You don't need any particular software to upload on YouTube. YouTube is what you need to upload on YouTube.
And if you're talking about scheduling, like I mentioned earlier, that if you have up to 10 episodes or more episodes, there are some that helps for scheduling. The one I mentioned earlier during the presentation was AI Content Fly. AI Content Fly. So I'll type them out in the chat box. Now there's another one, Cloudinary. Do you understand? Cloudinary. I'll Google Cloud Vision. So I'll list them in the chat box, so you can make use of them, go through them. You can even watch tutorials on them on YouTube. It will help you to schedule your posting, and YouTube itself can help you to schedule your posting. That's why you see that once somebody wants to release a new song or something, they'll put premiere. This premieres in 30 minutes. This premieres in 3 days. On what's it called? On Spotify, they'll tell you to pre-save. On Apple, they tell you pre-save. So that means you scheduled your posting already. You understand? All right.
Just make yourself conversant with these platforms,
Platforms.
because if you go on YouTube, there's a guideline, or like there's a place, a website where you can read up all of their terms and conditions. So you just need to make yourself conversant with all of those.
All right, thank you. We go to our live audience. So we go to Calabar. Please unmute and go straight to the question. We have limited time. Oka, please get ready. Calabar, go ahead.
Just continue.
Okay.
Sorry, we can't hear you.
Please, Calabar, chat your question. Your audio is poor. Chat your question to us. We go to Oka. Oka, please unmute and ask your question.
How do I? That's okay.
Sorry, I want to
Let's open.
ask
Speak to the mic, sir.
Yeah,
Speak to the
we
mic.
know someone is
hear.
talking, but it's not very loud.
Can you hear me?
Very well.
Yes,
Go ahead.
better.
I want to actually make an inquiry on the copyright policy. What actually brought this thing up was this viral video that actually went off, this Brainjota, whatever. You know, Brainjota, after that, Brainjota came online and was
Yeah.
like, the money is not actually going to him, that the copyright is like, the social media will take it like it's copyright and whatever, and the money is actually going to the owner of the song. And now also, this Ogechi, the remix of the video also is being kind of flagged because they are saying it's not the one that actually have it, something like that. So what is actually what's actually the most common copyright policy and what to keep up from? Because I plan on, after this program, I plan on starting a YouTube page. But one of my goals on the YouTube page is to actually it's not, I would like to call it a pirate of a course, but I would actually accredit them in the description and in the title. So I want to actually know what are the basis for flagging the copyright policy and every other thing. Thank you very much.
So, okay, off the top of my head, copyright is there because the owners of these properties they want to own their property, right? And the reason why is because is intellectual property. They've put in a lot into these properties, right? So it's after they put in a lot, they invested a lot, they put it out there, then a random YouTuber just takes it, put it on their own video, and start making money out of it, in which they don't own this property. That is why copyright is there to guide the owners. And if you want to start doing something like that, there's nothing as good as owning your own property, because if you put yourself in those people's shoes, you wouldn't want anybody to use your property without, even if sometimes acknowledging or paying rights to them is not enough. You need to pay in money, right? So it differs. To be on the safe side, that is why it's always good for you. If you want to upload on YouTube, own your own sound. And if you want to be doing covers, you want to be doing samples, it must be totally different from the original sound, because YouTube is designed like that. You cannot sneak your way into YouTube. You can do that for TikTok sometimes, but YouTube they are very, very strict with their copyright rules.
Basically, because YouTube also as the platform is trying to avoid legal issues.
Right.
Do you understand? They have the right to protect the intellectual property of people, like their earnings and everything. They have the right to protect it. So for them to be on the safer side also, right, they need to protect themselves, or else you can sue them if they make use of your stuff. That is why, like I said earlier, it's essential to read the terms and conditions before you post anything. And like if I said, platforms like TikTok, Instagrams, all of them are still easier, because even the artist himself or the artists themselves would have uploaded a part of their content for promotion, which are all those sounds that you see that you can make use of. But on YouTube, it's very, very, very different. You understand?
And for that viral song, that Gong sound, it started getting traction because it went viral. Nobody was talking about this sound some 2-3 months ago. So which means people around this man, they've sensed that, okay, people are using this sound, let us go and copyright it.
Oh, they brought out the
now, because obviously everybody was jumping on it, because anybody that used that song, your video will go viral. But last year, if you use that song, you probably won't get anything. So they're just being intelligent, because they notice, okay, everybody is jumping on this song because it's trending. Let us go and protect it because of future users.
They might have even protected this before,
Because
and they'll not bring it out.
Because I'm sure right now that song is protected. You cannot even use that song anyhow now, because we pay, because demand is price, or the people demand. Yeah. So,
All right, so we have Calabar. Calabar has chatted their question. Can I monetize my YouTube channel when the content is done by AI? Can it be my original content?
Yes, now. If it's by AI, yes.
Because you typed in your prompt and asked it to create what you want. Do you understand? So it is basically your idea. AI is just a tool that will just add one and two together. AI is not human being that can stand that this is mine. Now you've registered on the platform, even you've paid for the platform. So whatever you create on that platform, it is yours. Do you
Yes.
understand? So now the way I'm going to ask for generate a moody song is different from the way if I is going to ask for generate a moody song for me. Do you understand? There's a way I'm going to write mine, and if it's not the sound I want, and I can now start saying, okay, generate a moody song for me for my podcast intro. It might now give me strings only or keyboard sounds only, pam, pam, pam. And I'll go ahead and say, no, add bass. I want you to add maybe strings to it. Then it will add strings to it. I can now tell it again. I want you to add kick, the drums, add drums to it, this pattern and stuff. It will add. Can you see that it is my own property? It's my intellect that I'm bringing out. AI is just a tool that is just adding all these things together for me. You understand? To create something.
So technically, you are the producer.
Technically, you're the producer.
So yes, of course, whatever
Yes, you can.
you can get is yours. And you are a beginner. For us as beginners, we want to have those numbers. And when you have those numbers, of course, you get traction, and before you know it, partnership will come and you start monetizing your content. So let's just start from somewhere.
Yeah. So we have the last question before we round off for today from Port Harcourt. Says, what is the easiest way to know how good your video is and if it will be accepted by the targeted audience?
Target audience.
What other
Okay,
apps?
basically.
Hold on. What other
Okay,
apps
the question,
can
okay.
be used for video
Can be used
editing and how do they work?
and how do they to also do?
Yeah.
Okay, for the first part of your question, because we can't really go into how video editing software works now. There's Premiere Pro, there's CapCut. Please try and go on for the second part rather. Try and go on YouTube, check for tutorials on how these things work. We can't do that now because of time. Now, for the first part of it, which is what is the easiest way to know how good your video is? Number one, clarity. Number two, stability. Number three, your sound. And the major thing, your content. The content that is what you are pushing out. Clarity, make sure there's light. You can at least let us see your features, let us see your face, at least let's see you. Stability, don't go about creating a video that is shaky, as if a dog, except you want a viral video of maybe a dog is chasing you and you're now recording. Yeah, that is fun, that is comedic. But when you're talking about serious issues, you can't start creating videos and your camera will be shaking, you'll be adjusting. Do you understand? Like I'm talking about something. Let's say, what can we even talk about? I don't even want to say something violent or something. Don't let's use violence. Or maybe I'm talking about food. I'm talking about food. Now see the food I prepared. This is my food. This is fried rice and chicken, and the plate is shaking. The video is shaking. It's going to distract people. Do you understand? Stability. Your shots must be stable. You understand? Clarity, let the video be clear, and your sound also must be clear. Like I said earlier, you project, you speak out, let people hear you. You understand? Your sound must be clean, must be clear. So for the other apps and everything, please go on YouTube and just get resources from there.
And be open to criticism.
Yes.
Like I said, after you've done everything, you've prepared your video from minutes 1 to minute 15. Do quality control.
Yes.
You watch it from beginning to the end. Share it with your friends and family. Those ones that you know that they will insult you when they say, which kind of makeup be this? Those ones, be open to that, because they are the ones that tell you, okay, this is wrong, do it right. Then accept it and you adjust accordingly. That's how to have a good video.
Thank you so much. We have a question from Mina, but we have run out of time. I don't know if you can take it in a minute because Mina is very far.
Okay.
Hi, please.
The video quality reduction, please.
Yeah. Yes, that's the question.
Okay, basically, at the point of exporting, we have different resolutions. We have 4K, high definition, full HD. If you still have a video that's full HD, do you understand that is 1920 by 1080? Do you understand? The size is not going to be as big as if you shoot on 4K. 4K is like times 2 more of high definition or 2K video. 4K is like times 2, which is very, very large. So when you're exporting your work, you can still make use of 1920 1080, and you can still make use of 720. Do you understand? Export 720, which is just high definition, not full high definition. Full high definition is 1920 1080. Export 720, which is high definition, it will still be clear and you can still put it out there and the size will not be large. And two, your viewers can easily select the quality they want on YouTube. There's a settings there's a settings button there that when you click on it, you'll see if you want to watch a very high definition, if you want to watch 240 pixel, 360 pixel, so they can also select. But you that you are uploading, just go for, once your video is clear, the audio is clear, go for 720, go for 1920, 1080. The size will not be too large. I'm sorry, we have someone that wants to ask question.
Yeah, just to ask about configuration. You were saying something about having a good graphic card.
Yes.
Okay. So tell us about, just suggest to us configuration of devices. You understand what I mean? For instance, I want to get a laptop. What's the configuration? What type of graphic
card should be in it?
Okay. We can give you that much later. Don't worry. I get.
Just okay. Basically, the question she asked was the kind of system that for people system specification for people that wants to go into video production and something. So apart from using your phone and you want to get a laptop, just go for something with maybe like 16 gig or 8 gig RAM.
Yes.
Ask your engineer. At least that will still be able to do the work at the level that we are. 16 gig, 8 gig RAM. If you can get one with a video graphics card, video card, fine. You understand? But anything you have, just keep trying to use it to achieve what you want.
You can achieve a lot with 8 gig.
With 8 gig RAM.
At the very least, I've been talking to us as beginners now. 8 gig RAM and achieve a lot. So start with that. I'm sure we can do so well. Yes.
Thank you so much. I would like to hand over to my boss here, Mr. Samuel Itayo. Thank you.
Thank you, Josephine.
All right.
Can we put our hands together for Ife and Bola? It's you can see that the duo really did justice to the topic of audio visual editing, and I believe they're going to share the PowerPoint and everything with you. The most important thing from what you have heard, and they've hammered on this over and over again, is that put your content out there. Put your content out there. And the more you put your content out there, as you go, you will discover that one day somebody will call you. I don't know whether you know this. If you want to really know those who are making money on YouTube in particular, I will share with you very quickly first some useful resources that were put together, and then from there we're going to close. I'm also a YouTuber. I said it last week. So I have some resources also that I can share with you. The first one is the compilation. This is a MOOC camp. The way we've structured this session is such that after sessions like this, you go back within the week from today till next Tuesday, take some courses. And if you go to that link, bit.ly/MOOC-list2024, all in caps. If you're able to get that MOOC links, MOOC list 2024, you will be able to see, and I'm going to share my screen so that you'll be able to see exactly what I am talking about. So that by the time you get back to your location, you'll be able to at least see some of these things that we're talking about. It will not just be theories. So I'm going to do that for you right away. Just give me 1 minute. 1 minute. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen right now. Oh, please, can you give me the right to share my screen? Or let me just take over. Let me reclaim the host. Don't worry, I've reclaimed the host, and I'm going to do that. Can you all see my screen? So on the top here, let me just show you exactly what I've copied there. Right here is bit.ly/MOOC MOOCLIST 2024. So when you put it on the address there, you enter, and this comes up. That's since the beginning of this course. And we would like you to go down the 7-page document, and then you begin to see some of the courses. YouTube 101 Keys to Successful Channel, learn the basics. You can see here, it's about 1 hour, 16 minutes, on and on and on and on and on and on. You have about 20 hours of courses here that you can take. So we're encouraging you to take some time to take these courses. And at the end of the day, you should be able to get the needed skills that you have. Now, where can you find out those people who are making this money we're talking about? And this can help you. And you'll be shocked the kind of content these people are making. And they're making a hell of money. So it's, the platform is called Social Blade. There are some other ones. Social Blade. So I'm going to click on Social Blade, and on Social Blade, I want to pull it out. Are you following me? No?
Yes.
Oh, yes. All right.
You are following, sir.
Okay, so this is Social Blade. As you can see, this is Social Blade. If you know of any site that you want to check out what they are making, let's start with, let me just pick any one, random one. I just saw one now. Where is it? Okay. I just saw this one called Bright Comedy, whatever. And sincerely, when I got in there, I was shocked. Can you see it? So you put in the URL of the channel, and then scroll down, and then you'll be able to see. Can you see clearly here? It's the 11th.
Yes, we can.
In terms of rank. They have the last 30 days, 72.4 million people views, an estimated monthly earnings between 18,000 to 289,000, and then annual 217 to 3.5 million. And when you check on what they are doing, I mean, these are things you and I can do. So I want you to try and see, in order to gain some what do you call encouragement, check some of these sites, see whether it's something you can do. You can even start copying. I'm not saying copy verbatim, but copy the ideas. And I'm telling you, you're on the way to make your money. Let me round up by saying the whole essence of this session, as put together by the US Mission, is to be able to get you, that you are listening to me, to have something going for you. It may be the main, or it may be by the side. And I'm telling you this, the side could be the main. I will share a link with you next week of a guy who was working with Microsoft, and he had to leave Microsoft for his YouTube channel. And that guy, of course, is making his money. So why can't you think very deeply and really take interest in this? The amount of time in you developing yourself, particularly within the next 3 or 4 weeks, 4 weeks, will make a lot of changes in your life. With this, I want to thank our guest speakers again. We really appreciate you. We enjoyed you. If I were to be a lady, I might have to consider certain things. But unfortunately, I'm not a lady. So I want to thank you very much for coming. I really enjoyed this session.
Thank you very much.
So let's put our hands together
You're
for them
welcome.
again. And then we say bye-bye. Bye, everybody. Next time, please,
Thank you,
have a
sir.
channel. We
Bye.
have a channel before you go. We have a channel. Please go on our channel and you get up to date. The recording is already there on our YouTube channel. Please
Yes.
watch it and share it. You can see the backdrop of me. This is the cover of the thumbnail of the recording. So have a wonderful day and bye-bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Next one, yeah.